Hello, Spookaroos. It is your host, Eric Dwinells, interrupting my own introduction to unfortunately report that there were some technical issues with this episode. Luckily, nothing too major, but some gremlins did get in while we were recording and apparently mess with the electronics, putting in some feedback on through both microphones. So I had to go and re-record what I was saying during those parts. Unfortunately, I was alone at that point. My guest was no longer with me. So I don't think they'll be too distracting, but they will certainly be noticeable. You'll hear some hard edits, and then you'll hear a difference in tone because I recorded one at night and one in the morning, and it just, you sound different during the course of the day. And that said, I think you will still enjoy this fine episode. All right, ready?
Yep.
Welcome to Spooky Ass Shit. I am your host, Eric Dwinells, and my guest tonight, returning once again, Emily Ferguson.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Glad to be back.
It's been a little bit.
Yeah. This is a fun one, too.
Yeah. This is one I've been wanting to do for a long time. Just the theme in general. We're talking about horror-themed video games.
Yeah.
And we're just covering 2 tonight, although there's many more that we could cover in the future.
That's true, but these are really nice because they're from a different time.
They sure are. They sure are. But before we move on, I want to point out this is a special episode because this is the anniversary episode.
Yay, that's right.
So this is the 3rd birthday of the show.
Man,
But we're going into the 4th season.
that's crazy.
Then.
That's a lot of shows.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is. This past year, I didn't get out as many as I normally would because,
things have been crazy.
Had a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah,
But
a bit.
we seem to be back on track pretty well now.
Yeah.
So this is it. So Emily's one of the people that's been here since the beginning. So
What?
thanks for that.
Truth.
And here we are celebrating. So this is a fun topic for tonight. A nice, lighter topic.
Oh, man.
I think a lot of people who don't listen to the show regularly might be a little confused about the spirit of the show because sometimes I talk about ghost stories. Sometimes it's like a true crime thing.
Yeah, like murder or something.
And then it's like,
And then
now
there's
they're
this.
talking about wacky ass video games.
Yeah. And boy, are they.
But the point is, it's just spooky ass shit.
Exactly.
Sometimes it's like legit spooky. Sometimes
Right.
it's, goofy spooky.
Yeah. And
Tonight's definitely goofy
it's
spooky.
on the goofy side. Yeah.
Tonight we're going to be talking about 2 games in particular, like I said.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is Chiller,
Yep.
the arcade game, although there was an unofficial, unsanctioned, unlicensed Nintendo version.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But the arcade game is what we're really focusing on.
Well, yeah.
And then we're going to be talking about a very infamous game
Night
from both from both the 80s and the 90s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ready? Here we go.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Night Trap.
Look out behind you.
Night Trap.
Yeah.
Oh, my Lord.
We'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah, indeed.
Before we move on, let me plug the website. So that is spookyas.com or spookyasshit.com. They both take you to the same place. That is the show's blog page. From there, you can listen to each and every single episode, and you can also sometimes find some, cutout material and outtakes and videos to go along with it. I'm sure I could post some from this, some playthroughs and whatnot, so everyone can see what we're talking about.
Everybody should watch these things or play them, better yet.
Yeah, you definitely want to see the Night Trap music
For
video.
sure.
And and you can also find links to all of our social media. We are at Spooky Ass Shit on both Twitter and Instagram, and you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/spookyas. And when you're there, if you really want to talk and you don't want the public judging you, you can join the closed Spookaroo group. So if you're a true blue Spookaroo, you're going to want to join the Spookaroos. You're also going to want to pick yourself up a t-shirt.
Mine should have arrived today, but apparently it's arriving on Monday instead.
Oh, boy.
I know.
Well, it ain't
I'm
arriving
very
on Monday
excited.
either because
Yeah.
holiday.
That's right. Shoot.
But that's all right.
Okay.
You'll have it for next time.
Yep.
I am very thankful and humbled that people are ordering them and wearing them.
They're pretty cool looking.
Yeah.
I gotta say, that helps.
Yeah. Did you see the original sketch?
Oh, I forgot to look. Shoot, I meant to check.
I have it. It's right over there,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
you
yeah.
can
Okay,
see
I'll
the
look
real
at it.
deal. And,
Yeah.
and it's again, it was just an idea for
Sure.
the artist.
Well,
And
hey,
I
whatever
said
they
this
did
is what
with
I
it,
want.
It turned out lovely.
And by the way, I did touch it up afterwards on Photoshop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I did make some additional adjustments after
Yeah.
he sent it to me because I didn't want to wait another week for him to.
Well, I certainly like the spirit of it. I like the fronds
Yeah,
and all
yeah,
that. Yeah, it's
yeah.
good. Good call.
All right, so let's get into it,
Oh
Emily.
my,
Now,
yes.
the reason we're doing this is because, well, you and I are both, I wouldn't say gamers exactly, but we play a fair amount
General
of
nerd
video games
stuff. Yeah.
And you have a tradition.
Yep. Every single New Year's Day, I drive my brother and me up to Laconia, New Hampshire, in the middle of nowhere, to go to Fun Spot, the largest arcade in the world, maybe, or
That's
probably.
what they say,
That's what they say. I'm sure there's somewhere in Korea that's beating them out at this point, but still, huge thing, giant collection of antique video games, as it were, stuff from the 80s, stuff from the 90s, all those cabinet games. They have like, I don't know, a couple hundred of them out at any given time. It's insane. It's where King of Kong was filmed. And yeah, anyway, so there's new games every time we go, and I had not seen this one before.
Yeah, so, well, first of all, you invited me this year,
Well, yes.
which was a change.
Yep.
And I've never been to this place before.
Oh, man.
So I was both, I was happy and disappointed at the same time.
Okay.
I was happy that they had a lot of games, but some of the games that I, like key games from my childhood, they didn't have.
Yeah.
Like, they have some, like, they have like Donkey Kong, Mario Brothers.
Yeah,
they have
sure,
like
sure.
those
All the classics.
standards.
Yep.
Not
Pong.
all the classics though, because there was a few they didn't have. They didn't have any WWF games.
Okay.
That's very
Well, so here's
disappointed
the
in.
thing, is that a lot of those are a little bit more recent than some of their like old games
From the
are.
80s.
It is from the 80s, and they have a rotating.
But I know what
collection.
you mean. They do.
So, like,
they do
sometimes
seem
they're
to
there,
focus
sometimes
on
they're
like
not.
the really old.
Yeah,
stuff.
for the most part. For
So
those.
don't get me wrong. It
Oh,
was
yeah,
still plenty of fun, and there
Oh my
was
God.
a lot to do.
And it costs like what, like 12 cents a game or
Yeah,
something
it was
to play
crazy.
them, if even. Yeah.
So, but the best thing about it was this game chiller,
Oh, it's so
because
weird.
I remember playing this game when I was a kid.
I didn't know you'd ever heard of it before.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But the thing is, I didn't know what it was called. Like I was too little to.
Yeah,
know,
right.
But I must have played it like at Hampton Beach or something.
Oh my
like,
gosh.
At the arcade that they had there, you know.
Yeah, I had never heard of this for sure.
And I remember like trying to find it as an adult or like as a teen or something.
What would you even look for?
And I didn't know what it was called. I was like, I remember it was a game where it had a gun and you like shoot things and it's like horror themed.
It's super horror themed.
So when I saw House of the Dead, I was like, oh, maybe this is it. And I was like, no, this isn't.
No.
You don't shoot zombies. Like it wasn't. People were like chained to walls and stuff. I remember.
Yep.
So this was the first time I'd reconnected with this game. So
Oh,
just this
man.
year, 2019.
That's awesome. I did not know that you knew about it before.
Probably like when I was 10 or something.
Well, it is weird.
It
I was
is.
not prepared for what this game
I
was.
called you over. Like,
You just
right after
called
I
me over
found
and were
it.
like, all right, play this game. And it doesn't show you anything like what you're getting into, really.
Yeah.
It's just like, you just start.
And I guess I'll let you go ahead and
Okay, so I'll just describe basically how this game goes. So first you're shown a series of little images that you're supposed to kind of remember what they look like little squares. And as it turns out, those are things that appear in a screen of horror, really. So like you said, there's people chained to walls. There might be things crawling across the floor. There's like skulls or faces or whatever that like pop up into windows. The first one is the torture chamber. Is that the first room?
yeah. Well, I mean, I think they're all torture chambers.
Well, yeah,
but
okay.
This
but
is
the
like a
first one-
dungeon,
yeah,
I guess
right,
you
right.
would say.
The first one is like a standard dungeon.
Yeah.
Yeah, traditional.
And by the way, the people chained to the walls,
Yes.
they're like naked
Oh, yeah,
or
absolutely.
like wearing a Speedo or something.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
covered like as much as they
Right.
needed to be.
Like later in the game, there's titties, you
Yeah.
know, as much as pixelated titties can be, but still they're there. But like, yeah, so that one, and then like you have to knock a guillotine onto somebody by shooting the rope or whatever. And then like, there's the little crushing mechanism with the spinning.
Yeah, you have to
the
shoot
press.
you have to shoot the handles.
The
to
handle
make it
of the
spin.
press, and then it crushes the guy's head. And I gotta say, for like basically 8-bit stuff, it's pretty freaking graphic.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of blood. And so, oh yeah, so the little pictures tell you things that you're specifically supposed to shoot for bonuses and the chance at a bonus level at the end. So if you can remember all of those, you do great.
Yeah. And the thing is though, like when you shoot, like it's not just like you shoot the prisoner and then they die.
Like, yeah, no,
They
no.
don't die.
No.
Their flesh is like ripped away by your bullets.
And like sprays little blood.
This is a light gun game, by the way. So there's like a
Right.
like an Uzi that you're shooting, basically.
And lest we forget, this is not some modern shoot 'em up kind of like, Walking Dead video game where it's all like super graphically awesome. It is old school and yet somehow still quite disturbing.
Yeah, first of all, these are helpless people.
Yeah, but they
are
chained there.
chained
Yep.
in place.
Yep. It's pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's like a dog that comes in and picks up like a hand that has fallen off and carries it off. And
Yeah.
you're supposed to like shoot the hand and the dog. And I don't
Yeah.
know. It's weird.
And the second level is the torture chamber, because that's where you have the people on the
on the rack.
rack,
Oh, God.
which again
So weird.
you have to shoot the handles,
Right.
and it literally rips them in two.
Yep.
Although their spine is still there.
Right. But it rips them at the torso.
Yep.
Which is charming. And your favorite part, of course.
My favorite part is there's another crank handle that you have to shoot, and it lowers a person down. And every time the person lowers, an alligator pops up to take a bite out of their body. So it takes off like their feet first, and then you hit it again, and it takes them off like to the hip, and then it takes the head, and then you have to shoot the head once it lands in the river of blood.
In
by
the
the
river
way,
of blood, yes,
Yeah.
naturally.
Then there's like a weird little midget who's throwing knives at the people in the torture
And like
rack.
cackling. Yeah. And there's the constant like, woo.
Well, because
kinda
there's ghosts
sound,
flying
'cause
around
there's ghosts,
too.
Naturally. Yeah. Duh.
Yeah. And then the next level is the haunted hallway.
Oh, yeah. Which is fun.
Yeah, there's a woman in a nightgown just trying to make her way around.
Sure. Yep.
And you have to shoot her into a trap, and then there's a giant head that comes floating at you, and you got to shoot that.
That one's weird.
Yeah.
And there's like a little bouncing skull that keeps like jumping up in the middle. You have to shoot that.
There's a mummy hiding in a coffin. You got to shoot his heart.
Oh, yeah. Right.
There's a wolf or a dog in that scene too.
Yeah. He's
Then the
always around.
final scene is the graveyard scene,
Right.
which is where, as you alluded to earlier,
Yeah.
you get to see some boobs.
We finally get boobies.
There's a woman apparently crawling out of a grave, I would guess.
Yep.
So probably a zombie, I suppose. Although she
doesn't
doesn't
look very
like
zombie-ish.
a zombie.
She's kind of hanging out
But I
there.
mean, it is 8-bit, so
That is true.
But yes, you shoot her,
Yep.
and you blow her away.
Mm-hmm. Bit by bit.
There's a monk in the background.
Right. Pushing a wheelbarrow of bodies.
Yeah.
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 Back and forth.
And you can shoot him,
Yep.
but he doesn't die. He just changes directions.
Yeah.
when you
He's
shoot
just
him.
like,
And then my favorite thing in this scene
yeah.
is there's a zombie or something that pops up out of the ground,
Yep.
rips off his own head,
Yep.
and throws it into a fiery pit.
Into a fiery pit. Yeah.
And you have to shoot all of this stuff.
Yep.
And so the whole thing is just shooting.
That's all it is.
And then you get bonus rounds that look like a slot machine, and
Yeah.
you shoot at that.
Which is weird.
And then there's another bonus round where you shoot at floating heads, but that's
Yeah.
it. That's the entire game.
That's all it is. And it's just those levels.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. So
It's harder than you'd think, though. That's the thing.
I think now knowing, like, because
Yeah.
it has instructions on the game, but it doesn't really tell you
Well,
everything you need to know.
it doesn't tell
explain
you
like
have to kill the people first. Like,
yeah.
that's the main point.
Yeah, if you're gonna play the game, the point is to kill the people as quickly as possible, but
Right.
you also have to shoot all the bonus items.
Yes.
And you have to shoot the right things. Like if you just shoot randomly or out of order,
Yeah.
then you get points deducted, and
Right.
that can end your game.
Yep. Like the first time I played it, I just kind of shot at everything, and then it was like, "Oop, game over!" Like
Yeah.
I have no idea what just happened.
I think I only made
No
it
idea.
to the second level myself.
Yeah, no,
and
that's all we got
so-
through that time. Yeah.
Yeah, so
So
we'll have to
chiller.
go back and
Yep.
tackle this
Hopefully
one
they'll
again.
have it out again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll have to do a non-New Year's trip. We'll just go sooner rather than later.
Sacrilege.
But yeah, so some info
Yeah.
on this game.
All
First
right.
of all, it's made by a company called Exity.
I don't know that one.
Well, you do though, because we played other Exity games.
Which ones?
Well, actually, I don't know if you did, but I did.
Okay.
But you and I talked about one, and
Okay.
one is Death Race.
Oh yeah.
That's an Exity game,
Okay.
which was also quite controversial for its time. Now, Death Race was controversial because the point was that you are driving a car, and you are supposed to hit things,
Right.
but the things are supposed to be gremlins.
Sure.
But it's like very
Still-
Pong-ish in its graphics.
Right.
Like this is a 70s
Yeah.
arcade game.
It's a border.
The
yeah.
thing about this one, they had this one at Fun Spot too.
Yeah.
The thing about this one is it screams nonstop.
That's so annoying.
I'll try to find a clip that I can
Yeah,
post in here.
please do.
that's a rough one to play because of the screaming, but it is kind of fun.
I'll have to play that one again.
And it's got great great art on the
on
cabinet
the cabinet.
itself.
Yeah, nice.
Now, Exidy also made other games, which they also had at Fun Spot, like Crossbow and Cheyenne. These are more like gun shoot 'em up games.
Yeah, I didn't really play those.
But these are more traditional themed, like
right.
You know, like you're a cowboy and you got to shoot the bank robbers.
Oh, actually, I did play the Crossbow one. I think.
Yeah, it's like an adventure one.
Yeah.
Try to get.
Yeah.
So those are whatever.
Easy
but
peasy. Yeah.
Then they came up with this game, and according to an interview that I found on Kotaku.com,
sure,
they did an interview with a guy named Vic Tolome.
Okay.
And he was one of the designers of the game. And he says that the company's management, Exidy's, they actually wanted the game to be controversial.
Well done.
Yeah, they thought that, all the controversy would lead to press, and
Sure.
the press would help, because this game started production in the mid to late 80s.
Yeah.
And arcades were kind of falling out of fashion because of the rise of home games.
Video games. Yeah, sure.
So they wanted to boost sales for this machine. And at the time when it came out, this was the most expensive upright cabinet game
Wow.
that had been created. And a brand new at the time, it would cost you $4,299.
Holy mother of God.
Yeah.
That's really expensive. Holy shit.
So Ptolemy says, we were giving marching orders to go absolutely crazy. He said that the boss of the company came in and said, for this one, guys, no holes barred. Go for it. So we made it as horrific as possible from a blood and guts perspective.
Yeah.
It was an experiment. It was never done again by Exidy. It was a one-shot thing. During development, we would sit around and say, how can we make this disgusting? How can we do the graphics so it's not just blood on the wall, but you actually see the body parts and tissue? How do we really gross people out? It's the same thing that horror movies do. How do we scare people who think they're immune? We got into the zone.
Wow.
So they said they worked on it and everything. And at the time they were working on it, they didn't really think much of it. They were just thinking along those lines.
Right.
Like, oh, yeah,
just
what if
make
it came apart and you could see the body tissue
You're
wiggle?
Ew,
And
that's so gross. Yeah.
And they said it wasn't until they saw it all put together that all of, to a man, they're like, oh, whoa. This is fucked up,
this is
actually.
super fucked, yeah.
Because, again,
oh, my God. That's awesome.
They actually put a little workaround in the game. There's switches inside the console.
Okay.
So that you can turn the color from normal Caucasian skin on the victims.
Sure.
You can turn it green. Oh. So that it looks more monster-ish.
Okay.
So that the idea is isn't that you're shooting these innocent victims, but you're shooting zombies or
so it might be
whatever
slightly more acceptable.
Right.
That's
the idea.
Funny. Well, they definitely had it turned to Caucasian flesh tones.
Yeah.
It's fun.
That's all I've ever seen.
That's funny. Yeah, who would bother?
And I don't even I saw one video where they mentioned the green, so I don't think that's a widely known thing.
It's not even a thing. Yeah, people do.
But yeah, so
oh my goodness.
And it does say shoot the monsters in the game.
It does.
But they're definitely not
No,
monsters.
they're definitely just people.
Yeah. Those are people
normal
that are
ass people
being tortured.
Yep.
And then you go in and put them out of their misery, I guess.
That's really funny. I didn't know
But this is something that I enjoyed as a child.
Wow. That is so surprising knowing you now.
Well, the thing is, I mean, I don't even know if young people these days really understand what an arcade is. It might be, I mean, I know there are arcades still,
the kids.
But it's not like it used to be.
No, that's for sure.
And even, when I was little, the arcade was a sexy place to a little kid, not just because of the video games, but also because it was a little bit dangerous.
Yeah.
Stranger danger for one thing.
Dark in there and
yeah.
There was older kids.
Well, there's a place in Framingham right near where I grew up where we used to go. It's still there to this day.
No way.
Although it looks very different.
Oh.
Called Fun and Games.
Awesome.
But we used to call it Fun and Drugs. Because everybody knew that's where you'd go if you wanted to buy drugs.
Yeah, there you go.
My oldest brother spent some time there.
Well,
I'm not making accusations. I'm just saying both of those things are true.
There
it
you
was
go.
known as Fun
That's
and
right.
Drugs, and he spent
And
some
he
time
spent
there.
time there.
And yeah, and it used to be really cool. It used to have like this alien spaceship that flew over, and it was all dark inside.
What?
But
That's
yeah, it
awesome.
would like move around the ceiling, and you walked in, and it looked like a spaceship, like the
Yeah.
doors open and everything.
That's like the ship
So
from Toy
it's
Story.
it's changed now.
Yeah.
It's not the same. It's
Do they
more,
still have
it's
games
more,
and stuff there?
They do, but it's
Okay.
more like kid friendly.
Oh,
Yeah, it's more like geared towards kids and birthday parties, and I
blah.
mean,
Chuck E. Cheese shit.
I guess that's how they had to do it to survive.
No, that makes
'cause,
sense.
You know, but
There's only so
I'm
many
glad
of
that
us
it's
who
still
will
there. We'll have to go sometime.
Go, yeah.
But yeah, but it was kind of like a sexy, dangerous place.
Yeah.
So then, to walk into a place like that, and then find this machine that you
Yeah.
know that if your mom knew you were
Oh
playing,
my God, so much trouble.
she would have a problem.
Yeah.
So you just don't
Woo.
mention it,
Right.
and you play it. And I didn't even make it to the. I'm sure I didn't make it to the level
No, there's
with
no
the
way.
boobies when I was
No.
a kid.
No.
But just like shooting up people, you know,
Yeah,
on the wall
like
was
blowing
enough.
their faces off.
Yeah. Yeah.
With like a handheld gun thing.
Yeah. And this isn't like the guns, you know, like that they have now where they can't look real. Like it looks
No, it
fairly realistic.
looks like a BB gun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yikes. Yep. So chiller.
So the question about this one is, if it was so, you know, revolutionary and gory and everything, why don't more people know about it? Like, it's not talked about in the same breath as like Mortal Kombat or even Night Trap, which we're going to get into. It's not like a super well-known game.
I mean, it has to be because it was so expensive. They probably just weren't
That
that
could
many
be
places.
part of it. But also, this was, like we said, kind of the end of the real arcade boom.
Right.
And Exidy itself, the company, went out of business just a couple years
Oh,
after
man.
this game came out.
Yeah.
So, and also the game was banned in a lot of places just wouldn't
Right.
carry
They
it.
wouldn't bother with it.
But
yeah.
also, like you said, I think price point was probably a barrier too.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're an angry parent and there's no one to sue and no one to hold responsible, then problem just kind of goes away, I guess.
I guess. Yeah.
So, but it has a special place
Oh.
in my heart. Now, Emily, here in my living room,
Mm-hmm.
sitting directly across from me, you can see I have these shelves
You
made
do.
out of light boxes that I made, and on the front
They're
of
really
them
fantastic.
are actual video game marquees.
Yeah. They're wonderful.
Now, I collected those before I think other people really were.
Oh, man.
So I probably got those for like, I don't know, $5 to $10 a pop.
Oh. What
but
a
I've tried to
steal.
find like other ones now.
Yeah.
And they're very expensive.
Well, and you've got Double Dragon, Cubert, Golden Axe, WrestleFest, and Joust. I mean,
Yeah.
those are good ones.
I think I have Donkey Kong somewhere too.
Oh, nice. Well, Double Dragon's my fave.
Yeah.
Yeah. All the Golden Axe is fun too.
Yeah, Double Dragon has a little chip in it because your husband stepped on it one time.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
It was when he
know
was
that
helping me
from.
move though, so I couldn't give him shit.
Oh, yeah, that's too bad.
But I
No.
know, yeah, I remember when and where it
And
happened.
you're like, oh, no.
Okay, all right.
Well, yeah.
But the good news is there are people that make reproductions and those are much cheaper.
Okay.
So you can just
That's
get
nice still
those.
for display.
Yeah, so I might get the chiller version of that
Do you think you could find one?
with my t-shirt money.
Oh,
yeah, they
man.
have them on eBay. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. That'd be good to have.
It features a witch holding up severed heads.
Which is there a witch? in
There's
any
no
point?
witch. There are severed heads.
There are lots of severed heads.
Maybe it's the witch's
There's
castle.
severed everything's.
I just don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what the backstory of the. Who knows?
They
Not really
they never-
important.
They never made a movie of it. So
Ah, well, unlike the next one.
yeah, yeah. Let's move on to our
Oh my God.
second feature of this doubleheader. This is the one we really have a lot to say about.
This is a star piece here.
This is the 1990.
87?
Well, it came out in 1992.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a long story.
set
We'll get to
in
it.
'87.
Set in 87.
Okay.
Was filmed in 87.
Okay.
Yeah, but the game itself didn't come out till 1992. This is Night Trap, which was originally available for the PC or the Sega CD system.
Man,
Yeah.
I didn't know anybody who had one of those.
I didn't have one.
For
You had to
heaven's
be
sake.
like rich to have that.
No
it
kidding.
Was, it was hard enough just to get the Sega.
Yeah, right.
But this is also a very controversial game. But I don't know. I guess we'll compare it to Chiller at the end. But
How would you even?
so Night
Yeah.
Trap is what you call an interactive movie video game.
So is yeah.
And it was developed by a group called Digital Pictures, DP, which I chuckle at a little bit every time the logo comes up. I won't explain it. You can Google that. But it was released for the Sega CD in 1992. The game is presented mostly through full motion video. And that is, the kind of games where they basically show you a movie and then you have to click a button at the right time or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's filmed.
Yeah. But it's real, people playing the parts and everything. So in the game, you are taking on the role of a special agent.
Yes.
As part of the SCAT team.
The SCAT team, which again... Why, guys? Which stands, we finally figured out, what was it, for Special Control Attack
Team.
No, hold on. What did I write? Wait, yeah, team. I wrote something else in my notes. Why?
Yeah, it's like these commando types, basically.
Yeah.
And the game starts with a little movie of them, observing this house. Actually, it's not technically where the game starts, but anyway.
The preview for
and they are talking about these teenagers going missing
at a lake house.
Yeah,
a winery,
and then you control. Let's not even get into all that because we got to talk more about the background here.
Yep, fair.
But basically, that's it in a nutshell. And then you're in control of the cameras, and you watch different scenes by controlling the cameras, and you have to hit buttons at certain times and make things happen.
Right.
But the origins of Night Trap go back much further, as we said. Actually, all the way back to 1986 with a prototype VHS game being developed by a company called Axelon.
Okay.
VHS games, for you kids, were video cassettes, big plastic things with film inside of them.
Yep.
You would put inside your VCR video cassette recorder.
Yep.
And, VHS tapes were just starting to come out in the 80s and were a huge hit.
Yep.
And so people were trying to capitalize on that craze. And game companies were no different. There are a lot of VHS games out there. Most famous horror ones probably are Nightmare.
Okay.
From the 90s.
Yep.
Wonderful game.
Nice.
And then there's a VHS version of Clue.
Right.
And another game called Doorways to Horror.
Doorways to Horror. That sounds great.
It's a terrible game, actually.
Oh, that's
But I have very fond memories of it because I used to watch the video just without playing the game.
You gave me the version of Clue.
Yeah.
And we still haven't played it.
Yeah, we got to get on that.
We really do.
Game night.
Yeah.
So, and I have Doorways to Horror as well, so we can play that one too.
Awesome.
But it's very complicated.
Well,
but
we'll start with Clue.
Anyway, so yes, so this was going to be a game along those lines, and so they filmed it all the way back then. And they had filmed a different game, like a little mini game, as like proof of concept, basically.
Okay.
And they were selling it to this company, and then they got the go ahead to make Night Trap.
Okay.
So they did, and they were going to make like a whole new VHS gaming system.
Wow. That's ambitious.
That was going to the company said we'll fund it, and like you can make these kinds of games.
Wow.
So the video footage was recorded in 1987, and then they edited the game for 6 months after that. But then Hasbro, which was the company that was going to fund everything, changed its mind.
Okay.
And they're like, oh, we're not going to make your gaming system anymore. So
go screw.
Kick rocks. Yeah.
Yikes.
But the show's the game's producer was a guy named Tom Zito, and he had all this footage that he'd filmed and nothing to do with it.
Pure gold footage too.
So he purchased the rights back under his own company, Digital Pictures, and decided, well, look, I'm going to finish this game.
I mean, it's his opus.
And thank the Lord he did.
My goodness.
Because 5 years after it was made, it was released.
Wow.
To Sega CD in 1992.
It was just waiting for the right platform. That's all it really needed.
Now, this game stars Dana Plato.
Yep.
As Kelly.
The very young.
Yeah.
She's just a kid.
Yeah.
Young secret agent.
Definitely not. I mean, she's not an old lady, but, they make it sound in the beginning like, who's this child?
She's just like a 16-year-old. And they're like, no.
Yeah. Dana Plato
Mm-hmm.
was on a TV show called Different Strokes.
Yep.
Which is very popular.
Yes, indeed.
She was not one of the popular characters on the show.
Okay, I never watched it really.
Yeah, it was Arnold and Willis.
Yeah.
Arnold was what's his name? I'm blanking on his name now.
Oh, I don't know. I never saw it.
What you talking about, Emily?
Oh, freaking George.
Gary
Coleman.
Gary Coleman.
Damn it! I'm like, not George Foreman. That's not right at all.
Yeah. You know what's really bad is I just got cast in Avenue Q,
Dude, you should know that.
and Gary Coleman is
Critical
a
role.
character
Yeah.
in the show. We haven't started rehearsals yet, so
Okay, fair.
it wasn't quite on my tip of my tongue yet.
Oh, awesome.
Dana Plato was on that show, so she was like the big sister to these two adopted inner city youths of African American descent
Oh my.
that were coming to live with this wealthy white man and his daughter, Kimberly.
That's what that show is?
Yeah.
My God.
It's got a wonderful theme song,
Okay.
composed
Yep.
and sung, I believe, by Alan Thicke.
Get out.
Yeah.
Okay, well now I have to
Yeah.
watch it.
Yeah.
It's actually weird. I've never watched that show.
I mean, Arnold was adorable and it was funny.
Yeah. All right.
But yes, Kimberly is not what people remember from the show.
Okay.
Unfortunately, Dana
Yeah.
Plato lived a little bit of a sad life. She seems to
Oh.
have. They talk about the Different Strokes curse because all the kids from the show, all three of them, I guess,
Yeah.
went through some hard times.
Yikes.
It seems like Todd Bridges has come out okay. He was Willis,
Okay.
but he had some hard times as well. But Dana Plato really sad because she had some drug and alcohol problems,
Yikes.
and she eventually took her own life in the 90s, I believe, in the
Aw,
late 90s,
That's sad.
after an interview on Howard Stern,
Whoa.
where she claimed to be clean, but then she agreed on the show to take a drug test to prove that she was clean.
Whoa.
And then she OD'd before
That's
she could come back and take the test.
bonkers.
Yeah.
Okay.
they're
So
not-
crazy story
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. But this was a different time.
She was doing great in this.
She was still alive, looking pretty good.
Yep.
And they
got
say
to see
that
a lot of her.
she was a little bit difficult to work with on set because this wasn't long after
no.
Different Strokes.
Oh.
And she was like, this is a huge step
she
down
was
for
like
me.
hot shit, huh? Yeah.
And, she made no bones about like not being super stoked to be in this
Well, let's just say, as far as the acting and the look goes, she fit right in.
Yeah. So let's get into the story now. We kind of did already, but yes, teenagers have gone missing from this general area. They think it's connected to this winery
Yep.
where this family lives,
Mm-hmm.
and the Martins is the name of the family.
Mm-hmm.
And so this team has gained control over security cameras in the house,
Right.
as well as some booby traps.
Yeah, like a huge series of booby traps that are
Yeah.
in every room.
So they're watching the house
Yeah.
to figure out, because a bunch of teenagers keep going missing, and they've scheduled some teenagers
Like, go
to
on
arrive
in.
on this night, along with their undercover agent, Kelly.
Very young Kelly. Mm-hmm.
So you're in charge then of monitoring the house
Yeah.
via these security cameras, using the controller,
Mm-hmm.
and springing the trap
Right.
before bad things happen.
Sure.
Now you need to spring the trap because there are these creatures.
And we don't know what they are to begin with.
No, we learn eventually that they're called Augers.
Or Augs,
Yeah, for
as
sure.
the people in the know say.
And these are, we are told, vampire-like creatures.
They aspire to be vampires.
Yeah. We find out later on that they were bitten by vampires.
Right.
But never got enough blood to become full vampires themselves.
So they're basically just literally falling apart. Like their skin is falling off of them, which explains why they run very much like someone in a,
Well,
ape suit from the 1960s or something.
yeah, they're hunched over and they don't really pick up their feet. They kind of shuffle
They
along.
shuffle,
There's another reason why they do that.
which is
The traps.
the traps.
The actors playing the Augers
Uh-huh.
didn't know exactly when the traps were going to go off.
Wow.
So the stuntmen said, we're going to walk like this,
So we can
and
like
that way
brace
we're
ourselves.
not like, yeah,
Yeah.
we're never fully off the ground.
Because this is a very large team of stunt people.
Yeah, and these traps,
on the credits.
it has people going through the floor, going through the wall.
Yeah. Getting pushed by things into
Yeah.
other openings and
Yeah, and you have to spring it at just the right time.
Right.
And meanwhile, this kind of like campy 80s B movie is playing out, because it's like
Yeah.
these teen girls going to this winery,
Yeah.
which is by a lake apparently.
Sure.
And the family is up to something, and there's also these augers running around, and you have to spring the trap. But basically, it's supposed to be kind of like along the lines of a Friday the 13th or something like that,
Yeah, sure.
like style wise.
Everybody's getting picked off one at a time.
Yeah,
and
the girls
nobody quite knows
are.
what's going on.
There's no nudity, but
No, but there's a
they
lot
are
of
scantily
like
clad.
toplessness and bras being worn, and my God,
Bras
so many
not
butts,
being worn.
just butts everywhere. Yeah, that too.
Yeah. So Dana Plato wears like a sports bra through most of it,
And mom jeans.
and giant mom jeans.
My God.
Yeah.
Again, sign of the times.
And then there's an attractive tall blonde lady.
Mm-hmm.
But I think my favorite, and this might surprise you, is the super annoying Megan.
Well, she's hot shit.
She kind of is. She
She's
looks
got her little, like yoga pants on.
she's got a great ass,
She has. My God.
and her boobs are not large.
No, but
they're pleasant.
They're perky. Yeah.
They're pleasant.
Yeah. She's got a little crop top.
Yep. And yeah, she's just barely covered, really.
Yeah, really.
Up top, and then it's all skin tight.
Yep.
And she looks like a young Tina Fey. Well, let me rephrase that. She looks like you want a young Tina Fey to look.
Yeah.
Because I've seen pictures of the actual young Tina Fey, and she was very 80s. She's
Super
very
awkward,
of her times.
and yeah, of course.
No insult to her.
No,
Listen,
certainly not.
Look at my high school pictures.
Let's
I'm
not look at
I'm not
either
super
of our
cool.
pictures from middle and high school. Yeah.
But
She kind of like her energy reminded me of a very young like Carol Kane. Like she's got this.
Well, she knows what she's
wacky
in.
adorableness.
She knows what she's in, and she's
Yes.
playing it up, and she's hamming it up, and
Yeah.
she's making like derpy faces the whole time.
Right.
And, and then of course there's the musical
The
number,
musical. Oh, wonderful.
which she lip syncs.
Yep.
And the rest of the group watches, and they all tell each other the entire time, "Look at Megan! Look
Yeah.
at Megan!" And it's strange because they're already all watching Megan. And then there's the title song, which they sing, and
Yep.
we have sang now for
Yep.
the people a little bit of.
And will be in my head forever now.
Yeah. And they do this whole like song and dance around this title song. And then you find out that the family is actually vampires. And they are collecting blood from the victims to give to the Augers.
Like a charitable thing that they're doing.
Right.
Yeah.
But also, they're going to drink some blood for themselves.
Well,
too.
sure. You got to save a little. Yeah, they have these
And-
wine bottles everywhere that they're constantly like dealing with, and then eventually we figured out that the Augers have this like neck draining mechanism.
Yeah. So, like I said, this was kind of controversial at the time when
Okay.
it came out because, parent groups and, people who are just sticks in the mud, basically,
Sure.
were saying that this was violence and it was crimes against women.
Yeah.
And it promotes violence against women and other such things.
Well, I guess if you want to catch women with a weird grabby hook thing and drill their neck.
Well, I
with
mean,
a
the point
drill.
of the game was to save the women, actually.
That is the point. Yeah.
You're not
they
playing
get
as the Augers.
No,
so-
that's true.
But the controversial scene,
Uh-huh.
the one that caused the most controversy
Yeah.
anyway, is the one that takes place in the
The
bathroom.
girl in the bathroom. Yeah, sure.
There's like a bougie blonde bitch,
Yeah.
and she's like, I've got to do my hair
Yeah,
and
she's
makeup
pain in the
before
ass.
bed. So she's in the bathroom, and she gets attacked by these Augers when
Yep.
she's all alone in there. And she's
her
wearing she's wearing a very skimpy nightie.
Yeah.
For a night with the girls.
Sure, she's just,
I'm sure that's how it is.
That's
when you
what we
ladies
all
get
do.
together, you put on your
put on our little
sexiest
tiny nighties,
nighties.
and we
and-
look at each other in the mirror. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So they catch her and they put this device around her neck.
Right.
Yeah. And it's a collar like on a stick.
Yeah.
But in the stick is a drill,
Yep.
an auger,
Like, there you go.
which drills into the victim's neck and takes out the blood, which you then see in a tube. And the company says that they purposely made this look very unrealistic so that people would know, like, this is not real and, you know,
Yeah, I
this is a
should
dumb
hope
fantasy.
so.
But actually, I'm not saying it's terrifying.
The drill, there's like a close-up of the drill bit,
Yeah.
like drilling towards her neck.
Yeah. And you don't see it, like, actually go in and punch her. That's true. But you know what's happening. And also, they use, like, a dentist drill sound effect.
Yeah, it's pretty disconcerting.
Yeah. I will say.
It's a little cringy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just that noise of a dentist drill anyway
yeah,
is
that'll
enough
do
to,
it.
like...
Yeah.
So, what else can we say about the plot
I mean,
or the characters?
well, let's see. Okay, so the mom and dad are Sheila and Victor. Victor has an outrageous British accent. I don't know what he's going for entirely.
He's from Egypt, the actor. I read
okay.
on IMDb.
Interesting.
But he probably, maybe he spent some time in England or was just trying to sound posh anyway.
I think he's just going for general posh, but like, and he's like swirling a glass of what supposed to be blood, but looks like orange juice with
Presumably
red
it's
dye in
supposed
it.
to be blood, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like sangria or something maybe.
Yeah, he's kind of foppish. You might
Yeah,
say.
very much so. Well, that's vampires. I mean, hello. And then, although his wife is constantly groping him in the whole thing too.
Yeah.
She's like all up in his business. And then there's their daughter, who I thought was a ghost for the most part at the beginning.
It was really weird. She looked relatively normal, except that she was wearing like a weird like dress from the 1800s, it seemed like. But then when she goes outside to meet the other girls who are all supposed to be her friends, except for Kelly, which they never explain
Like, where
that
is
I
she
saw.
supposed to have come from? Yeah. Like, nobody introduces her.
When she goes outside, her face is so white. I literally said, I'm like, did she just put some clown white on? Like,
I think it's really like they used a like slightly reflective makeup, and then when they had their like moon look.
Yeah, I mean, as we
that it
said
just
later
glowed on
on, we
her.
learn that the family are vampires.
Right,
So
which makes sense.
You know, she's paler.
Shiny vampire. Yeah.
You know, but she was like white in that one scene, and then she was kind of okay
she's
again
cute,
after that.
But she looks like a low rent. Oh shit! What's the girl from the girl with the eyebrows? She's in all the new Star Wars movies. Or not the newest ones,
Daisy?
the old new ones. Damn it! Oh, I keep wanting to say Keira Knightley, and that's not her name. It's the other one.
Oh, you're
Anyway, she's in Garden State. That's her name.
We are not doing good tonight.
No,
this is
late.
later than we
It's
normally
past
record.
my bedtime.
We won't say
It's
how
like
late it is because
9:30.
it's not. Yeah.
I know what to tell you. Oh Lord. Anyway, what's her freaking face? So
She went to Harvard.
yeah, I know. We should know this. This is
I met her.
pathetic. Dude.
I met her at Harvard.
Okay. We're not looking this
We
up.
went to an
first of all, 'cause
improv
this is
show together.
pathetic. Are you kidding me?
Her name, yeah.
Okay. We're going to move on from this because otherwise it's going to piss me off and this is really sad. Anyway, she looks like her, but a low-rent version.
That's all I'm going to be able to
I
think
know. It's
about.
all you're going to be able to think about. Should we just pause the show? Is this going to like tear you to pieces?
No, it's all right. We'll move on.
Oh, who have we not talked about? We didn't talk about Weird Eddie.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So suddenly, like, I don't know, a third of the way into this thing, there's this like freaking weird looking dude. He like pops out of the bushes in like a very clean outfit.
Yeah.
It looks like
For a guy hanging out in the bushes.
fishing guy's outfit, but like pristine. Yeah, very tidy for somebody who's just been hiding. And I'm sorry, super quick diversion. This just makes me think of this guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so my uncle owned a tree trimming business for a really long time in South Florida, and he used to get all of these like workers who would kind of come through and just like work a day or something. And so there's this one guy one time, and he comes in and he's wearing a black trench coat head to toe, and this is in South Florida in the middle of summer, right? So it's like 1,000 freaking degrees. And at some point, you know, he's kind of weird all day, and he's got this trench coat on all day. And at some point, my uncle's standing next to him, and the guy looks over and he sees this big giant bush, and he goes, "I could hide in there."
All
So
right.
now, of course, every time I see a giant bush or something, I say, "Oh, I could hide in there." Anyway, sorry. This reminds me of Weird Eddie. So Weird Eddie is one of those characters where like he pops out of the bushes and everybody's like, "Fuck, who's that?" They're like, "Oh, it's just Weird Eddie. Don't worry about it." Like, can you explain anything else about this?
Yeah.
Nothing.
No.
So at some point, Weird Eddie reveals that he knows about the Augers and that he has devised a laser gun two laser guns. He has a spare because why would you just make one laser gun if you're going to make them? And like gives it to the younger brother of one of the girls who's like tagged along or something.
Yeah.
To shoot the
parents
Augers.
made him.
That's right. The parents
Made her
made her bring her little brother on their like weird weekend. And yeah, so Weird Eddie. Oh, and then he dresses up like one.
Yeah, but we should, before we continue,
I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself.
Qualify that this is the version that we saw, because there are, depending how you play, you'll make the movie change.
Well, it's a choose your own adventure in a way, yeah.
Kinda. I mean, there's not that much difference between things. There are certain things that still have to happen, but just so you know, should you ever decide to play, this might not be exactly the story you get. But we were watching on a YouTube video, because we didn't actually beat the game, which is what you need to do. I'm sure that we could if we had enough. So
this is also the problem.
Well, let's get to that in a minute. Let's finish with the plot.
Okay, so.
But continuing with Weird Eddie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does dress up as one, and then in the cut that we saw, he gets trapped immediately and is never heard from again.
Right.
Like, literally, like, he puts the costume on, takes 2 steps, and is trapped.
And then he's gone.
So I assume that in the actual game, there might be another scene or two that he can do if he were to survive.
Maybe you, like, don't trap him. Maybe that's an accidental, like, oh, whoops, I accidentally trapped Weird Eddie. I don't know.
Or someone just didn't like Weird Eddie.
I don't know.
But you and I both thought that the actor playing Weird Eddie looked really familiar.
I thought,
and I was like, I think this guy's been in a lot of stuff, and I think he always kind of plays like this kind of character.
Yeah.
But then we looked him up, and he hasn't done anything.
Not really. At least there's nothing on IMDb or on Wikipedia or something.
No,
so I don't know. He kind of looks a lot like a few different people who pop up in things here and there. So I'm not sure. He's an odd looking fella too, though. But yeah, so
oh, and the vampires know that he's there.
Yeah.
Because the boy there's the brother of the teenage lady vampire.
Right.
And then there's like cousin Tony. Who's also there.
Yep.
Who wears
also
sunglasses.
Yep.
He's also a vampire, and he wears sunglasses the entire time.
And a very fashionable outfit too.
Yeah.
Giant oversized like mustard yellow sweater and white linen pants with matching white linen loafers.
But here's the thing though. He wears sunglasses, presumably to cover up his funky eyes, because their eyes glow green when they're vampires. But nobody else is wearing glasses the entire time.
No. Yeah.
And they make a thing about how weird it is that this one guy's wearing glasses at night.
Right. But
several people pointed out.
But does he just? Oh, and he is way over all of this too.
Yeah.
Like the character, not the actor. The character, he is way over it. He's like, ugh, I'm so bored with this. Do we have to kill these people again?
Yeah.
It's like, can I just leave?
All right. So continuing on with either plot or characters, what else you got there?
Okay. Let's see. Oh, well, I mean, like half of my notes are just like butts. There's butts here, butts everywhere.
Yeah. Again, it's not like, it's definitely, I would say, a PG or PG-13 game. It's not rated R, like...
No.
Because there's no nudity or anything like that.
A lot of short shorts, though. A lot of short skirts and a lot of tight pants. All right, let's see here. So, they're draining Jason into the bottles. Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah. So Jason is one of the Team Scat members.
One of the Scat team.
Who decides to go commando, literally.
Yeah, just like rolls on in.
And like, I'm going to go in there and check everything out. And of course, he gets captured by Augers like almost immediately.
So he's like, all right, you have to be really quiet. I'm going to give you radio silence. Then he starts literally kicking on doors. Yeah. Like, immediately.
Like the door that he just came in, he kicks it shut, like super loud. Dude. I was like, oh, there's his stealth in action.
Yeah. Well, he looks a little bit like Rambo. He's also the one who in the initial scene, like, is sitting there with his gun on his knee pointed at his chin.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, dude.
Everybody in that opening scene looks like they've never held any kind of gun. And I'm no guns expert.
No.
Trust me.
But I'm pretty sure you don't cradle it like a baby.
Yeah.
Or maybe you do. I don't know.
And then there's scenes later on where they come in and they're all shooting guns.
Yeah.
With the sound effects.
Or...
Like, I'm pretty sure that if you had, there's people with, like, you know, an Uzi.
Sure.
And it sounds like a shotgun.
Right.
And then there's, like, a shotgun that sounds like a revolver.
It's like pew pew.
Yeah. Later on, they seem to, like, match up a little better.
Sure.
But in that scene, it's like, wait, that
well, and anything it hits lights
sound.
up with sparkler sparks, too.
Yeah.
Which is fun.
Yeah.
Including people.
Yeah.
Okay. So... Yeah, so they catch Jason, the scat team guy, and they're draining him upside down in the body box? Is that what it's called?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, which is just in the kitchen.
Yeah, well, because two of the vampires, like, pull each other over and they're like, someone left the body box open.
It's like, I'm sure it's fine. Don't worry about it.
And then they go over and he's like, see?
Look, it's open. It's like, that's no big deal. I'm sure nobody looked in there. There's Jason being drained upside down.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, like, all the girls are like upstairs digging around in a closet or something, including the Sarah, the ghost girl, the young vampiress. And they pull this like weird triangle with dangly things off of it. And they're like, what is this? She's like, oh, my father collects strange things. Like, what the fuck?
And it was funny because, like, as soon as the girl pulled it out of the closet, she's holding it up. I was like, that's like a sex toy.
For sure.
And then I was like, that's like a strange sex toy. And then she said, my father
collects
collects strange things. And that's
like,
all they say
honey.
about it.
Yeah, he sure does, kiddo. Which later that thing proves itself to be super useful because one of the augers
throws it and it does nothing.
Nothing.
But
it spins around a lot. That's neat.
I guess it's supposed to be some kind of boomerang or something.
I don't know.
Yeah. There's also another agent that breaks in. Well, he doesn't break in.
No.
He comes in disguise.
In his lakeside camo, I'm calling it.
Yeah.
His vacation camo.
Yeah. He's wearing like a Hawaiian shirt.
Yep.
With like a hat.
Uh-huh.
Colorful like painter's hat
like
with
jams.
with the brim.
Yep, with the brim popped up. Yep.
Yeah, and
yellow loafers.
Now he's an African American man.
Yep.
And I don't think they could have made this portrayal more racist.
It is.
Unless he walked in like, howdy, everybody. Or
dude,
like something.
It's like, worse. They give him, what the hell?
Well,
okay.
hold on.
Oh, no, sorry.
Start from the beginning. Because in the opening scene, like, he's clearly like the guy with a chip on his shoulder.
Sure.
And he's like, who's running the cameras?
Yep.
How are we going to do this thing?
Oh, man.
Like, and it's like, okay.
I think he says jive about 10 times.
Yeah.
Over the course of this.
And it's like, this wasn't made like in 1970, whatever.
No.
Like, I don't think even on television black characters were talking like this anymore.
No. He like comes in and finds Kelly in trouble and he's like, you okay, cuz? I'm like, oh, girl.
What up, blood?
Yeah. Dude, what are we doing here?
But you're right. He comes in disguise because he's looking for Jason.
Right.
To make sure that everything's okay.
Yes.
Jason and Kelly.
Sure.
So he comes in his disguise.
Yep.
Claiming that he lost his boat. And using... How would you describe this accent?
Honest to God, I don't know what it's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be some kind of island accent.
It sounds like he's trying
Jamaican
to do...
or
like it sounds
Bahamas
like he's trying to do like an Indian accent. Except for like the one from like Short Circuit or whatever the fuck that is.
I'm sure that's not what he was
like,
actually going
No, I
for,
think he was trying to do like a Jamaican accent.
Yeah.
But it is.
But he just comes in and laughs.
Like,
I'm looking for my boat.
My boat.
I'm looking for my boat. Where's my boat?
Wow.
And he's like, oh, I got a picture of my boat. And
Tommy, is that the...
Yeah, the two boy
cousin?
vampires are looking, and they're like, yeah, we can't help you. Get out of here. And then
Tony.
the girls come down the stairs, and he looks at Kelly, and he's like, I'm just making sure everything's okay. And Kelly, like, gives him the nod.
Look.
Like,
yeah.
Yes, everything's fine here tonight.
Yep. Oh, my God.
Okay. Oh, I can't find my boat. Ha, 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 ha. I will be on my way then. Ha, 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 ha.
This is another one of the circumstances where, like, why does he need to put on a fake voice? They don't know who the fuck he is in the first place. Yeah. Like, dude, don't have to put on a voice.
And didn't seem concerned enough about Jason.
No.
Like, just let that go.
Nope. He's like, I can't find him.
Whatever. Kelly gave me the nod.
He's not here in the entryway, so everything must be cool.
And then he calls back and says, yeah, everything's fine in there. This is the worst team.
This is not a good, special. This is not a special control attack team. Wow. Okay. So, yeah, that was ridiculous. Okay. And how about, so... Not Tony. He's the cousin, the boy. What's the young vampire guy's name? I can't remember. He has an interesting little tick when he's nervous.
Yeah.
Which is that he ferociously brushes his teeth. Just like constantly.
It's so weird.
I don't know if they're thinking like, oh, it's a vampire thing because vampires have pointy teeth.
Like, yeah.
But like frequently out of nowhere, he's just like brush, like out of his pocket.
Yeah. We noticed it first because it was in the kitchen. Yeah. Like him and Tony had some kind of disagreement or something, and he took it out and started brushing his. But at least he was at a sink,
right? Like that. I was like, okay, well, that's weird.
Oh, that's weird that he just had a toothbrush on him.
Like on him.
But then, like it happens 2 or 3 times later on too, and he's not at a sink. Like
no.
he's just walking down the hall and he takes out a toothbrush.
He didn't start it at like the very beginning of the thing. He started like halfway through.
Yeah.
That suddenly this is a thing that he does. Like,
well,
all the time.
again, maybe it was the edit we were watching. Maybe there's a whole scene where it explains.
Let's give them the benefit of the doubt here. This seems like a well thought out plot.
It is a fun and interesting quirk for a character.
Oh man,
I'm gonna have to use that on stage sometime, I think.
Yeah, just like whip out your toothbrush and start brushing.
Well, it's just a weird thing I do now.
Hey, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Speaking of don't worry about it, my favorite is when they're like, the girls are running all over the house to this whole thing, trying to get away from Augers and whatever else. And
yeah, once everything goes to hell and they realize like, oh wait, there's some shit happening here. One of the girls eats a blood popsicle.
Yeah, what the?
And she's like, oh, this tastes like blood.
Tastes like blood. Like, okay, gross. Yeah. What? And then they find, so they're like racing all over the place. And Kelly has revealed herself at this point, like, I'm a secret agent. Don't worry about it. I got it. And she's like,
even though everyone
keeps
should totally
telling them,
be worried.
just relax.
Yeah, relax.
Like, just relax. We're just going to like run away from the things that are killing us. Like, don't worry about it. You guys need to chill out. What the fuck? Yeah. She doesn't do a great job either, seeing as like everybody dies.
No, everybody dies. And then depending on how you play the game.
I'm going to say.
Yeah, I don't know if there's an ending where everybody lives though.
I think it's the one that we watched. Like
no,
the
but even in that
ending.
one, I don't know if they escape. Maybe they escape earlier, but she's not with the other girls at that.
No,
ending.
that is true.
She's by herself.
Well,
so there's different ways the game can end.
The only solution is we're just gonna have to play this thing until we.
I guess so.
Kill all of the Augers.
So there's different ways the game can end.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
But the happy ending.
Yeah.
Is where you stop the vampire family.
Yep.
One by one. The girl vampire is the last one.
Yep.
Sarah, I believe was her name.
Sarah.
She's the last one, and she, if you don't trap her, then she will vamp out and get Kelly.
Right.
But you can stop her, and then Kelly will say thank you, and you're the greatest. She basically she wants to bone.
She
basically.
for sure does. Yeah.
And then she's like, it's so funny that ending because you can trap her.
Right.
You can spring a trap on Kelly after the game is over, basically.
Yeah, she turns around and walks down the hall.
And I've seen that ending too, and she's like, "How could you do this after everything we've been through?" And she falls down into hell or whatever.
Right.
But otherwise, it's so funny because she walks at the end, and she's like, "Oh, I knew you wouldn't trap me. Okay, see you next time."
Yup.
And that's the end.
That I guess. Yep.
It's like, okay, everybody died, and I'm a horrible member because my whole scat team just died, and all these girls that I was here to protect, we've done absolutely nothing.
Dude, I think that must be if you manage to kill all of the bad guys, which is virtually impossible. Because did you want to describe the gameplay?
Okay,
now that we're here? Yeah.
So we just described what you would see if you were to just watch the movie.
Right.
That is not what you would experience if you were playing the game.
Impossible.
The game is actually kind of terribly designed.
Yeah, you think?
Because in order to play the game properly, you constantly have to be shifting from camera to camera.
Right.
And you have to bring the traps at the right time. But these augers come in like motherfuckers.
Oh my god, they're just everywhere. Like at one point you look down and it's like, oh, there's been 44 of them in the house. I'm like, wait, I've been playing this for 3.5 minutes.
Right.
It's insane. How is that possible?
It's insane. So you can't watch the movie.
Right.
You have to, and there's different things happening at the same time too.
Okay, so what you're looking at when you're looking at the screen.
Yeah.
You've got a big screen in front of you that is whatever camera you're looking through currently. And there's how many cameras in there? Okay, there's a living room, a bathroom, a bedroom, kitchen, the outside of the house, hallway, library, and then some other weird mudroom hallway thing, right? Okay, and so each of those rooms has traps hidden in it somewhere. And, after you play it for a little bit, where the traps are in the room. And so you see the bad guys enter the room from windows or wherever. And then you wait for them to get over the trap and you push the button. So that's what you're seeing. Down below on the bottom of the screen, you see little mini versions of all of the cameras so you can kind of track where things are coming and going. Except it looks like in the old version, the original version.
No, there was no video footage.
No. So you're just having to constantly switch through all the cameras and hope to happen upon.
I can't imagine how you would have played that game.
You'd have to just remember. You'd have to think, okay, so first this one shows up here, then I have to go to that room and just it
would take a lot of playing. Times. It would not be fun at all, especially because you can't watch the video, like we said.
No, so you can't. The movie is meanwhile going on in one or two of the cameras, and somebody might be doing something in the kitchen and somebody else is having a butts dance party in the living room. You can't be watching both. And why would you want to watch what's his face brushing his teeth when you can,
Yeah.
Look at the bouncing girls. So yeah, you just have to like switch back and forth, and it tells you on the screen how many of the bad guys you've caught and how many you should have caught.
Yeah.
Which is preposterous.
Yeah. You did pretty good, though. I have to give you credit.
It was super fun.
Yeah,
like, I'm
you were doing
totally
good.
going home and buying this game now.
The only thing that messed you up was the color code. Because so there's these color codes you have to know too, and you have to change to the right color code or your trap won't work.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you have to be watching the scene at the right time to hear them say, "I'm going to go downstairs and change the color code to
like
one
orange
of like
or
5
whatever."
different colors."
Like, shit. And then if they change it and you don't know, then the traps don't work.
And you have to try to figure out. And we didn't use a walkthrough. I'm sure there's a walkthrough that could tell us.
God, I'm sure there's
like,
a ton of them.
You know.
Yeah.
But it was very difficult.
Yeah.
So we'll go back and fix it. But yes, it is. So it just last year, I believe, had its 25th anniversary year.
Wow.
So they re-released it for PS4 and probably other places too. I'm not sure. But I have PS4. You can get it on PS4.
So cool.
I don't remember how much it was, but I feel like it wasn't more than 25 at the most.
It's got to be like 15 to 20 bucks or something. Yeah,
probably less than that. But I had to get it, like, because I'd never played it. I'd heard about it.
Oh my gosh.
I'd seen videos of it, but I'd never played it.
Yeah.
And it, like I said, the gameplay itself is bearable on the PS4.
Yeah.
Because you get to see the little videos, screens. If it was just the still images, like it seems to have been on the old versions,
impossible.
I wouldn't care enough to do it.
No, because this is fun because you can see
do it.
and you're like, oh shoot, there's somebody outside. I gotta switch over.
You can kind of figure it out, and once you know the color codes, like shouldn't be too bad. And the movie's a lot of fun, I think.
Definitely.
And it's got everything you want in like a cheesy B movie. Dana Plato is, not going to win any awards, but that's what you want. That's that's part of the charm.
Yep.
Same thing with My Megan.
Oh man.
She's
a prize though.
She's not winning any awards, and she's a fucking annoying character. But
she's the wacky friend,
and she lives pretty long. So
yep. Oh man. Yep.
I will say, for 80s women, they're all pretty attractive.
They are.
80s women. Like, even now, watching the movies now, the big hair doesn't usually do it for me.
No.
Now, like, 60s big hair?
Totally different.
I could be down with that.
Yeah.
Like, Priscilla Presley?
Sure.
In the 60s? I could be down for that.
Yeah.
But, like, big permed...
Where it's just, like...
Yeah, like...
full of hairspray.
Elizabeth Shue was hot in the 80s.
Yeah.
She's like, my gold standard of, like, a go-to.
Absolutely. Natural beauty.
Like she still holds up. Like, even when I watch those movies, even though her hair is kind of its time, it's not like crazy.
Yeah.
But these women are all right.
Great. Yeah. It's very cute. The dudes, on the other hand.
Yeah, well, that's
they're doing all right.
Fashion choices.
That's really where it's getting them. That's the problem. But yeah, oh man. And I wonder if there's more of the romance option too, because it's alluded to that cousin Tony once loved a girl who looks very much like one of the attendants.
Yeah. It doesn't come up too much in the edit that we saw, but maybe there are more scenes where something happens.
I'm wondering if there is, yeah.
But this game, like I said, was very controversial when it came out. And it actually caused congressional hearings.
Oh, this was one of those?
It was one of them.
Awesome.
This one and Mortal Kombat.
Nice.
Were the big two that lawmakers were talking about.
Wow.
And they were saying, the game itself is sexist and everything. And the game cover featured like a cartoon of a lady screaming. And it was like from the neck up, but you could just see the beginnings of her like bra straps and everything.
Sure.
And then one of the augers, like a cartoon auger, was like behind her with his
little grabby
staff grabby thing. And they said like this was promoting violence to women. So they changed the cover, actually.
Oh.
To be an actual picture of Dana Plato.
Okay.
But she's standing there with her arm out like in a,
help
like, can
me.
you believe this kind of thing? And I think it's a still from the video.
Okay.
And I think that's literally what she's saying. Because it's like when she was yelling
my gosh.
at the camera.
At you,
like, use the traps.
Like, what are you doing? Yeah.
So, and then like the vampire family is kind of behind her on that cover.
Oh, yeah. And just
which
to
is a
that
spoiler,
effect,
by the way,
also,
because they don't tell you they're vampires.
No,
right
they
away.
don't. You can figure it out.
Yeah.
But but that's also a thing that happens frequently that you should point out is that like she and the SCAT team, pardon me, talk and yell at you, like directly to you while you're playing. Like, you're fucking up.
Yeah, and if you let too many augers go through,
oh yeah,
like if it says like possible 42 and captured is like 5, then like the scat commander comes on, he breaks into your transmission and says like, you got to go figure yourself out and don't come back until you're better at this.
You're disconnected.
And then you get like the fuzzy screen.
Yeah.
So I'm very familiar with that. I haven't honestly, this is like a fun novelty. It's not something I would play over and over. So I never, and I knew that I wanted to do this episode. So that's another reason why I didn't like keep playing it. I wanted to be kind of fresh.
Gotta go in fresh.
And I wanted to enjoy it with my friend.
It's very enjoyable.
Yeah, it was a good time. We had some pizza and watched the movie on YouTube. If you beat the game on PS4, you get to watch the full video.
Then you have access to it.
Yeah, and I do wonder if it's a different edit than the one we watched. I wonder.
I mean, maybe.
But
yeah. The one that we watched wasn't like the optimal ending one.
No. No, she died at the end of the one we watched.
Yeah.
But you can find other endings on YouTube.
I think the one that we watched was basically the one where you get to see each of the deaths. Yeah. You get to see all the deaths. So that was fun.
I'm going to try to save Megan.
Yeah.
When I play again.
I think you should.
I'll save Megan and
she deserves it.
Maybe I'll let Kelly live.
Yep. Maybe next weekend
so I can have her. All right. See you
smoke
later.
a bowl and play this game until it freaks me out too much and can't handle it anymore. I don't like when games talk at me.
If I were a kid, this game might actually scare me a bit.
Definitely.
Yeah, because it's got creepy music and just I always find that like low budget things.
Yeah.
Like it's not that the set isn't supposed to look scary. I don't think. No,
it's just a lake house.
But because there's not much detail to it,
right?
It reminds me. There's an old, any of the old like Sesame Street, Bert and Ernie sketches.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of stuff on their walls.
Right.
And it just looked too bare, and then the lighting was like a little too stark.
Are you going to tell me how Sesame Street is spooky?
It is. There's a lot of freaky shit going on.
This sounds like a different episode.
It is, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
So, like stark, not super well lit sets can be creepy on their own.
This one is definitely stark. Like this is a woefully underfurnished home for a place that has like 12
they have
rooms.
Like just what they need.
Yeah, it's like a chair and a couch.
Yeah. So after these congressional hearings, the publicity actually helped the game.
Big surprise.
And it sold 50,000 copies the following week.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But 2 weeks before Christmas, both Toys R Us and KB Toys, which were big toy stores back in the day, and now neither one exists.
Not so much. Yep.
They pulled all the copies.
Lame.
So, that took a hit. I don't think I heard about this game when I was a kid.
I certainly did.
Because I didn't have Sega CD.
No, God, no.
I don't remember the first time I heard about it, but it's probably like within the past 15 years.
Yeah. No, I've only ever heard about it from you.
Sega withdrew the game completely from the market.
Wow.
So after 1994, you couldn't get the game.
Oh, man.
And because of the controversy around this game and Mortal Kombat, that's why they adopted the game rating system, which they still use to this day.
Oh, wow. Aw.
And something kind of funny is that the game, when this was adopted, the Entertainment Software Ratings Board, game ratings, this game was rated mature.
Wow. Little did they know.
Yeah. But the new version,
the
25th Anniversary Edition, available on PS4, is rated T for teen.
For teen. Hey.
So I guess times
it should be.
Have changed.
I'll say. This game is adorable compared to other ones now.
A lot of people like the game for the same reason we do. The campiness of it, the fun aspect of it. Obviously, if you're a horror fan, you're going to enjoy it even more.
Totally.
But a lot of people will rate this as one of the worst games because of the gameplay.
Well, the gameplay is awful.
They really could have relaxed on how many augers were coming in and let you enjoy more of the video.
Yeah.
I think that would have been the way to go.
But it is still like a satisfyingly stressful game to play one of those where like, oh shit, I'm supposed to be doing this. And like you get overwhelmed quickly. And I just find games like that kind of fun sometimes.
You just played it for the first time just now. You definitely seem to be enjoying yourself.
I definitely was.
I was kind of like, I really wish I was filming this, but you were like celebrating every time you actually caught one.
Oh yeah,
laughing.
I was super psyched.
And
about
of course,
it.
the captures are funny too.
They are.
It's like
a booby trap.
Yeah.
Like, it's like a mousetrap game. Exactly. Yeah, like it throws them over a bed and dumps them out a window, or floor drops out from under them, or something like that.
Yeah,
these goofy auger things.
So
this fun.
This 25th anniversary, it's got special features, including a behind-the-scenes commentary.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and other
Awesome.
you can play the game. I believe this is true. You can play the game in like the old school way.
Oh wow!
But they've updated it so that the scenes, I don't know if they're exactly HD. But they're definitely better than you would have seen on the computer version or on the Sega CD version.
Yeah, sure.
Because it looks decent quality.
Yeah, it looked fine.
So yeah, it also includes the game Scene of the Crime, which was the prototype game. That they had used to sell this vision system that they were going to make.
So was that one done just like a VHS game then, or was it?
Yeah, it was supposed to be a VHS game.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, fun. All right,
so
well,
that's
let's play
on this
that
game too.
Yeah, obviously we're gonna do that too.
Yeah. All right, Emily. I think we've rambled on enough.
We just about covered it.
But it's a fun game. So it sounds like
highly recommend.
We'd recommend, and Chiller 2 if you spot that.
Yeah.
In arcade. There was a Nintendo port. Like I said,
really?
unofficial, unlicensed Nintendo port.
I bet you could find it.
But it doesn't look as good. Like the graphics aren't as good. But there is some changes. First of all, the nude lady is not nude.
Okay.
She's wearing a shirt in this version.
All right.
And also they took out the monk.
What?
Because they thought that would be offensive.
For heaven's sake. If that's the thing that gets you.
But instead, they made it a nun.
What?
Pushing a baby carriage. And you can still shoot her.
Well, shooting a woman, that's just, that's
what you do.
Day to day. Come on. Yeah. What the fuck, dude? Well, let's make this less offensive. I like it.
Yeah. Huh. All right. So we definitely recommend those games. We're going to have to look at other games. There's,
there's a ton.
I have Haunted House for Atari.
Yeah.
I have the Friday the 13th Nintendo game.
Awesome.
So I got a few.
Yeah.
And I got some newer ones too.
Well, the newer ones interest me less
PS4.
because I am actually, in spite of all this, kind of a scaredy cat when it comes to scary video games. Like even when Mike plays like the Resident Evil games, I get a little freaked out by that shit.
All right. Well, let me just remind everyone to check out the website, spookyas.com or spookyasshit.com. From there you can find all the social media links. We are at spookyasshit on Twitter and Instagram, and you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/spookyas. Please continue to listen to the show. I thank you guys so much for joining us, especially if you've been with us all this time.
Yeah.
3 years. It's a long time.
It's a long time.
In podcasting, especially.
Seriously, you didn't pod
fade.
fade.
Time. No, not yet.
Not yet.
I felt like it sometimes. But
That's true.
I didn't yet.
That's all right. You're back strong.
Yeah. And I, like I said, there's about a million bazillion podcasts out there.
There are.
So the fact that anybody is listening to this little show that I record in my living room.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah, and I don't advertise or anything like that. No. So anybody that listens is finding it because they want to.
Yep.
Because someone told them about it. So I appreciate that, and I hope that continues. And I hope we can just keep growing strong. I still want to do a live show someday.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
It's a big dream.
Yeah. Well,
but
there's lots of people with the same spooky ass interests.
Yeah,
which is
and
nice.
you know that the stage.
I mean, it calls
is
to you.
my home.
It is.
You're
at your best.
The stage.
Maybe we'll record one in the streets of Salem. That's really your stage.
Oh, you think so? Yeah. Oh, you say that. You've never even come to see me.
Next year.
Yeah, this is okay. All right. So, yes, continue. Spread the words. Join the Spookaroos. Thank you, Emily.
Glad to be here, man.
And until next time, don't be afraid. Good night, Natalie Portman.